Okay. So I don't know. Most of us haven't still submitted our tax. I don't know what the tax that difficult, but a very simple tax.
Sorry,
We
good
are battling
evening.
with it. Abi, we are battling with that.
Good evening.
Okay.
So please, I have a very big challenge with this Git thing.
Okay. So what's the challenge?
So I've actually done the assignment, but I noticed that when I'm trying to create this Git, or should I say link the Git with my VS Code, the way you showed us, anytime I get to the last part where I write this code, Git push dash u origin master, it pops
Okay.
up this box on my screen to input my username and password.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I do it, it tells me error. I've forgotten the error message it always gives me. But it keeps it says that Git no longer supports username and password, something like that. Yeah. So that's where I got stuck. I was just waiting for today to ask how one can navigate that so that
Okay. Okay.
Did you put double quote in your email address when you were getting your username and email? Because I had the same issue, and
okay.
I had the same issue. So I had to create the global username. You have to create git config, double hash global user dot name. You write the username. The username has to be in double quote. Then
Okay, is it when I'm imputing the the login details on the box that pops up when I'm writing the code, the Git code? Is that what you're talking
like
about?
once you open your Git batch, before
Yeah.
you code any directly, before you write cd dot directory, what you need to do, the first thing to do is to create your global username if you don't have it. But what I did now, and I open my normal GitHub, then and I put my username in the GitHub. I make use of that username in my GitHub,
Okay.
to create the global username in the batch. You understand? So, but for email, don't put double quotes in email. You have to create
Okay.
the email I use in logging into my GitHub,
Yes.
to create a global email. Then for my username, I use the username in GitHub to create my global username. Do you understand? So you have to confirm the syntax of the code you wrote. You understand? But for that email aspect, you don't need to put email aspect. After creating, you can also run git config dot list to confirm that the username is created. Do you understand? So once you create it, whenever you want to add batch, whenever you want to add batch, it will pop out the dialog box for you to use one code to connect to your to connect devices. So that was what my own did, and I created the devices started working perfectly. So I had the same issue as well. So, but just confirm the syntax. Maybe our master will put the syntax for us, to create the global username.
Okay. Okay. I would look into that. Yeah. I just hope I'm able to get all this. I'm able to get it because it's quite challenging. I would thank you. I would really work on that. I hope
All
I'm
right.
able to get.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much for that contribution. Okay. So, all right. So, what I think let me write that those commands again. Okay. Let me write that those commands again on the screen.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to use this contents page here. So I write it down. I remember I said that there's no slide. Okay. So I'll just write this thing down. And all right. So now what happens is that now once you're done with your project, okay, and I assume that you've opened accounts with GitHub and you've installed your Git in your machine, okay. So that means what I'm saying is that now you now have your Git bash on your desktop on your machine, okay. And now what you do is you navigate to your project folder and then open that folder in that Git bash, okay. So now, once that is done, you have to type in the command. The first command you type in is to initialize a new Git in that directory. Okay, so what it is Git init, okay? Git init. Okay. Now that will actually initialize a new Git in that directory. Then when you're done with that, the second command you do that is second command you do here with git add. Okay, git add, and what are we actually adding? We are adding the entire file in that directory. How do you do that? You use the dots. Okay, so now you do git add dot. Okay, and that will add that entire file in that directory. So now after that is the git commit. Okay, is the git commit. And then this commit comes with a commit message. Okay, so you can put your message there, be edited. Let's say edited and views the py file. Okay, it views the py file, and that comment there. Okay, sorry. This one single column. Views the py file. Okay, and that will be your comment. Now once you click enter, okay, and this will actually commit if you haven't set your global variable. Okay, so like a kind of say it as a sub command that comes up. Okay, before you actually continue, see it as a sub command, and this command this command that comes up is for you to set your git global user email and your git global username. Okay, so now the command to do this, the command to actually do this is git. Okay, git. Right, while I'm using dot there is kind of like a sub command. Okay, the command that you actually have to execute before this state command here. Okay, because once you try to execute this state command, and if this is not actually set, you have to set this first, then go ahead and execute that state command again. Okay, so that the command is git config, right? Config, that's configuration, and dash global, dash global, and then user dot email, okay, and then within and then you now put your email within quotations like strings. Okay, and let's say that your email is let's say example, okay, Gmail, okay, .com. So let's say that's your mail. Okay, now you put, and after that you close this string here, that you put it in a quotation, and then the second command we have to put there is the username. Okay, git config dash global user dot name. Okay, user dot name. Okay, and then space in strings again, your name. Okay, will be your name there in that quotation. So after you might have done this, you can now go ahead and execute your second line of code there, your second line of code here. Okay, now after you might have done this, you can now go ahead and execute your third line of code. That is the git commit, right? That if that did not actually get committed. Okay, if that did not actually get committed. So now the next one you want to do, then the fourth line of code that follows after that, the fourth line of code that follow after that is the fourth line of code that follows after that is git remote. And someone has committed herself.
Sorry, please. A question.
Okay.
This third line of code, edited views.py. You mean instead of the views.py, that will be the files we want to submit. That's what we'll put in there, right?
No, it's like a comment. Okay, it's for you to
just
keep
a comment.
track.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a comment.
All right.
It's a comment. Okay. Right. So after that third line of code, okay, and I assume that probably we've tried to run this and it didn't work. I asked us for this. Okay. So if that the case, we go ahead and do this, right? These two here, we go ahead and do that. The git config for user email and the git config for user name. Then after that, we now run the tail line of code again, and that should work. Then after that, we have git remote as the full line of code. Okay, git remote add. All right, what are we actually adding? We want to add our repository, like our online repository, to this directory. Okay, so that we can as well push this code down to GitHub. Okay, because right now from step 1 to step 3, right, this code still lives in our desktop, right? So the 4 and 5 is just to push this code to GitHub. Okay, that's outside our machine. So now it will be git remote add origin and then HTTPS, and the rest of it there will be the rest of it there will be your repo link. Okay, your repo remaining link there. And then once that is added, right? So attempts after this line, okay, a dialog box will pop up. Okay, like one of us said earlier. Okay, at times it requires us to authenticate ourselves. Okay, so that GitHub wants to know. Okay, because once we execute this git push, okay, GitHub wants to know that we are actually the one pushing this code to that directory. Okay, so at times, if you're actually doing this for the first time, that dialog box will pop up, and then we go ahead and log in. And then once we logged in and finished, we now come back here and then type the fifth line of code as the final line of code, which is git push dash u, okay, origin. Okay, so now we are pushing it to a particular branch. By default, there's a branch there by default, and that branch always main. Okay, but you can't actually make use of main, so instead of that we use master. So that's why we use master here, right? So it means push this code to GitHub and put it in the branch master. Since we are the only one working on this code, there's no team. Okay, so there's no team that you have to push it to separate branches. And then once we do this, and certain lines of code will execute ourselves, and I think in less than a minute, depending on how huge your file is, in less than a minute that should push, and that's okay. So for those of us that haven't actually done that, please for those of us that haven't yet submitted our tasks, please, okay, if this was the problem, okay, I think that problem should be solved now. So please do that and send your link for us to grade you, and so we can move on. All right, question. Yeah, good evening, ma.
Okay, I don't understand this number two git commit, and because when you were teaching us last, you said it's git commit, git minus m plus commit. That was the code we used, and then after then it gave us it told us to for the new, for what's that, the new, we were told to
Okay.
input our email and then our username like you taught us. And that's
Okay.
that this commit is for us to input comments. I don't understand what is.
Sorry,
Just need to
I
again.
to hear.
Yeah, the two way. What does the git commit? You are saying now that it's for us to put comments.
Yeah, it's for comment. All right, let me take this out. It's for comment. The comment is for you, like for you that owns that repository, so that once you open that repository, you know what was the last thing you did on your work. Okay, that what it means. What was the last thing you did on your work? So once you see it, you can actually know, okay, this is where I stopped. Okay, this is where I'm starting from. Okay. So the comments could be long. It could be longer than this. So now what git commit means that after this has been added, okay, we commit this to Git, right? But yet, even with that, after committing this to Git, this code hasn't still left our machine yet. Those code still lives in our machine, okay? So now we're actually committing this just in case we're actually adding these comments just in case we push this code up to our repo link, okay, our repository, okay. So once we probably, if we are working on a project and that project can be accomplished in a week or month, okay. So once we finish work for one day, okay, we can now push this code to our repository. Now, once we open that repository, we can see these comments. Okay, we can actually see these comments here. These comments, they will actually tell us, okay, that was the last thing we do. Okay, so now from there, that's where we are starting, right? If we head over to, let me head over to my Git, so log in. Let's see. Okay, let's see now. All right, so we have this testing here. Now, this way that comment shows. Okay, now once we open this repository, we see this comment here that says first comment, right? First commit. Now we know that, okay, that the last thing we did here was actually first time commitment, right? So now we know that if you have to work with this, we have to start from here. Okay, so that's what it does. It doesn't really affect your code. Okay, it doesn't. It's for you. The comment is for you that owns that repository. All right. That what that comment does. It's for you that owns the repository. Okay, so understood, but still having problem there.
Yes, I second.
Okay, all right. All right, so that is that. I believe there's no other question pertaining to that.
Good evening, sir. I have two questions.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
They are not, they're just more like general questions.
Okay.
Okay. The first one, sir, how this intermediate beginners class or the lecture, how long is it going to take us, sir?
I mean this beginner's track. The camp is for 4 months, right? So I think we stayed
4
for
months.
2 months. Yeah, we stayed for 2 months. This will be our 10 months. Okay, so you have like 1 month left.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Is it getting too much?
No, sir. No, sir. It's not getting too much. It looks like something will be coming up for me in about 2 months' time. That'll get me really busy, and I wish to actually finish the.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to see how I can balance the two together, sir.
Okay, I understand.
Secondly, for this our assignments, the previous one we've been writing, you've told us how you grade it, comments, structure, and all that. But in this case, it's a little bit different. So how are you going to grade this one? And
okay, so well, the thing is because this is, we have moved past the writing of basic code. Okay, I still grade comments, right? But I won't really give mark to comments, okay? Because now the cutoff point has been raised to 75. Okay, I think let me put that on. Okay, the cutoff point has now been increased to 75. Okay, so now we haven't really sit down and structure how it's being graded. Okay, but for the last one that you guys just submitted, the way I graded was actually for you to do how the task said. Like the last task was create an app, okay, with views, with I think 3 different views of your choice, okay, and then render and then display an HTML page, right? That means your view should render an HTML file, okay. So so for that last task, all the map was just rendered that, okay, because there was nothing there. So as far as you rendered that in HTML file, 100 marks, right? So probably in our next class, I might sit down and then structure how that grading will work, and then I'll let it with you guys. But for now, for that last task, just render an HTML file, and let that file be in your apps folder, okay, not in your project folder. Right. Let that app be in your app folder, okay. Let the views and the URL be in your project folder, and then you link it to your project, so to your app folder, and then you link it to your project folder. Sorry.
Okay. Please, I have a question.
Okay, sir.
Okay, as regards what you just talked about, so how will you be able to? Is there a name we should give that particular task? Should we give it the app? Should we give it the name like task so that
Yes,
we'll be able to know it?
Yes, you can give it any name of your choice. Okay. Once I open the project folder, I will know, because when I open that project folder, when I see settings file, okay, that folder becomes your project folder. Okay. So if I see settings folder, if I see settings file in both folder, then there's a problem. Okay. So you can name it, so you can name the app any name of your choice. Okay. There's no specific name. All right, sir. Okay, sir. Any other question?
One more thing.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody asked about masters and main the last time.
Masters and okay, and main. Okay. Okay.
Because when I push into my repo, well, I'm also doing a kind of other cohort project like that. So
Okay.
I've always been pushing into my main.
Okay.
So now when I now pushed into my master in this new repository I created, it was like asking because it seems something unusual. So I had to just wait for like 30 minutes before GitHub just assume that, okay, maybe it's not a mistake or something like that.
Okay.
So then I have to go to my masters in order to view those files. It's not on my main.
Yes, it will not be on your main. It will be on your master branch. Okay. Which is when you make case, you see this branch. Okay, so why I said that we should use master was right. So before that class, okay, I tried pushing it to the main. I was having an error. Okay, so I was trying to avoid that error of happening to someone else. Okay, because he might not, the main might work for you. Okay, but might not work for someone. So either that just create the master and let everybody just use master. Okay, and move on to avoid error. Okay, I tried pushing it to the main. I had issues with it, so I choose the master. Okay, so if the main works for you, then no problem. You can go ahead and use the main.
Okay.
All right. So any other questions? Shall we start for today's class?
Hello, sir. This issue of the Django error have been disturbing me for please, you should help me now.
Like you mean that line?
That line, yeah. As in, it's making me to lose like appetite.
No, be you they have that line. Oh, no, be you they have. Only you. I'm explaining that line too, but it doesn't stop your code from running now.
I know, but there's
I did experience it too.
There's kind of courage
when
somewhere. That's kind of courage when you have with your code. It's not having that kind of that kind of. I'm missing that vibe. That programmer vibe, you know. So please,
change to Atom. Leave VS alone.
Atom works as well. Yes, I would recommend Atom as well. If the line really bothers you that much, then you can go to Atom and see if the line is still there. If the line is still there, then check Sublime Text. Right, until you find the one that doesn't show the line. But honestly, that line always shows up on my own. Okay, but it just went off on its own. I don't know how. Okay, I wish I knew how I would have let it with you. But honestly, I do not have any idea how that line went off, but it just went off. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that, sir. Okay, any other problem apart from that? Okay, apart from other ones that we've mentioned, talked about so far. All right. So I believe we've solved all problems in the previous class. All right. So we'll move real quick into today's class. All right. So before that, I would like to set up few files. Okay. So I actually got a template from online. Okay. What I mean by template, I mean already written HTML code. Okay. I didn't write that code myself, right? It's a pre-written HTML. It's a kind of like a front end. Okay. It's a front end, but has no actual functionality, like the logging in and the signing up functionality, just the design. Okay, so that's what we'll be using for our blog project, our own personal blog project. Okay, that's what we'll be using. Let me hide this for now. Okay, so okay, here is the template. All right, so this template I got it from this site. I think the site name is down there. W3 layout. Okay, it's a website that actually gets a free template. Okay, so these are templates we will use. Okay, any irrelevant stuff here we will cut it out. Okay, any irrelevant stuff we will actually cut it out. All right, so for now, this is what we will use for this block, right? So I'll quickly set this up. So I didn't want to do this before the class. I wanted doing this in the class so that we actually see how this works. So this should take about 20 minutes, and I'll set this up and explain how this works and what any command I use within the process of setting this up. I will explain to you what that command does. Okay, so we will set this up, and what I mean set it up is because currently this is coming from my my download folder, okay, but it shouldn't come from me. It should come from.
We are seeing only the
Oh,
this thing,
I'm not seeing your share screen.
Oh, sorry. Let me go ahead and let me share the entire screen. Okay, all right. So this is seen it now.
Yeah, we can see it.
All right. So the template might not be that wonderful as we want it to be. Okay. So any relevant thing, we cut it out. Okay. Cut it out. So this template was someone built it using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and so on and so forth. So what you're going to do is work with this template and hook up the functionality, right? So look at this, right? This shouldn't be showing by default, right? So meaning that if I should log in here, I shouldn't be seeing register again because I'm already logged in. Meaning that if I've logged in, that means I've registered, right? So I shouldn't be seeing this. So we will try to work with this, and all this post here, block here should come from our back end, okay? Probably most of these pictures here, I think. And all this posting. So the easiest template I saw, okay, the easiest template I could find. The main part thing about this template is that it takes time to load. I don't know why, but the template takes a lot of time to load. Okay, so we set this up. We set that template up in our with Django, okay. And then
how do you download the template?
Okay, so the template, I tell you that it's from this site here, W3 layout. Okay, so I'll go ahead and open this in a new tab. All right, so this is it. So you just have to sign up for this. Okay, you have to sign up for this site. I did here. Okay, someone's made this up and run. Okay, I can't mute you guys. Please go ahead and mute yourself, please. I can't mute you guys. Okay, so now you have to sign up for this site, W3 layout. When you sign up there, you come to web templates. Okay, there are lots of templates. There's web development templates. You see them here. There's portfolio. There's so on and so forth. Okay, so on and so forth. Then you just have to choose anyone you see. Okay, you just have to probably, let's say I pick block. Okay, let's say I pick block. So other block, these are templates that are here, and most these templates here are free. I think most of them are free. Any paid one, and then you. So now, let's assume you need this template. Just click on it. Once you click on it, it shows you $10. Right? It shows you $10, but you're not going to do that. You go to free download. When you click on free download, it will download it for you. When I click on that, it takes you to this page. Okay, so in order to download this, right? So they require. Okay, this one doesn't actually. There is a. Okay, let me see if I can find one again. Just let me check another template and see. Let me show you what I'm trying to say here, just in case. Just in case. So just in case you guys click on the free download, okay, and you're seeing this, right? So what you do here is it's gone. Okay, but if you are seeing that option where it says share and follow, okay, just click on any one. It will bring out a pop-up a dialog box, okay, that says that you can follow the person that actually created this template, right? That's all you need to download this template. They are free. You just have to follow the person either on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram. Okay, those options were there, but now it's gone. Okay, but if the option is there, what this is, after you might have clicked on anyone, probably on Twitter, okay, it will bring up one pop-up a dialog box, okay, and then that person account will show up. You can go ahead and log in there and then follow that person. Or what you can do is, once you click, you can now minimize that box, all right, and this button will show up. And then you go ahead and click download. It will download this file in a zip format, okay, so you go ahead and extract it, and then you get those HTML template. So as easy as that, right? So I got this one that I'm using here, I got it there. So this is their back page, and going back about this side is that it takes time to load the HTML. I don't know why, but we manage it. But probably if at all we have if I find another template that's easier, we might change it. Okay, we might change it. So just for the same process that we are going to do here, we do the same process and in the new template if we find one. Okay, so okay. Okay, like is it the link to this template or okay, link to this particular template, right? The person that asked that question on the chat, link to this particular template.
Yes, I think
yes, Abi.
Okay,
At least send us the link to the template.
Okay.
That would be better, so we'll download it.
Okay, so let me, it was in web development and then blog, right? You click on blog and you scroll down. One of, okay, this is it. This template. So I will copy this link address and go ahead, paste it in the chat. All right, so that's the link to that template there. So you download it and extract the file. All right. So you download it and extract the file. All right, so we'll start. All right, so we'll start. And all right, so I've opened up the file. This is the file that are here. All right, so someone sat down and wrote this HTML codes over 1,093 lines of code. Wow, that's great. All right, so this is the person's detail. Right, so you might actually leave it there. You might take it off. Okay, so now this is HTML files are known as template files, right? So you have to arrange it in a way that Django will actually understand this whole files here, right? So quickly we'll do the normal navigating to our project folder, starting up our environment, and then starting up our server. Okay, so go ahead and do the cd document. CD document slash KodeCamp projects. Okay, KodeCamp project. KodeCamp project. All right. Let's see what we have inside there. All right. So cd my site is right. So first of all, we have to activate that environment. venv script /activate. Okay, /activate, and then we cd into my site. Okay, cd into my site, which is there. All right, so we are currently in our projects folder. If I do this, we have our home app, our manage.py file, our projects folder, and the account app. Okay. Okay, so we just set up at least one page of it, or at least one page of it. Then you guys have then you guys have the idea. Then we can set up for the rest of the pages. Okay, so go ahead and open our project folder with open our project folder in VS Code. KodeCamp project, my site, and then open with code. I think I've done some certain testing. I did with this. Let me hide this. Hide setting. Okay. Right. So I've got this out. So I'm going to okay, so this is our project folder, and this was where we left off in our last class. This was where we left off in our last class. Okay, so okay, so we go ahead and let's run our server python manage.py run server. Okay, and yeah, server is up and running, and then we'll go to our to confirm that everything is still working. Home dash home, that was our home URL. Okay, boom, and we still have this template there. All right, homepage conversion to our new template. All right, so we don't want to be using this because this is very not too pleasing to the eyes. Okay, not too pleasing to the eyes. So we won't use that, and we won't have the time to sit down and write the HTML code. Okay, so for that reason, we use that template, right? That template that we have created. Okay, so if you open up this template, right? If you open up this template here, template. Okay, I started mine into here. So these are all the files that comes with that template. Okay, so we have the index file, the contact, block 3, block 1, block 2, block about, login, register, and then single. Okay, I don't really know what that is. Okay, but we'll see what it is. But for in this class, I'll set up the index page. I'll set up the index page, the contact page, and the about page. Okay, and then we'll continue as we go on with the project. Okay, we continue setting up the rest of the pages, right? But for today, we set up this and this and that. All right, so what we do is we go ahead and then we will copy. This is our project folder, this one here, my site. And in our template, I don't want to, okay, go ahead and delete this too. I used that for illustration in our last class, so I'll delete that too there. So this is our home, right? So for now, I don't want to use this template anymore. I want to use the one that we just downloaded. Okay, so I'll click on this and delete this off. I'll delete this out. I'll delete that out. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll copy the ones we want to use down there, and which is the index and the about and the contact us. Okay, so I'll copy this. I'll copy this and then back to our project folder, and then I'll paste them here. All right, so if I open this in VS Code, we have those files here now, right? These are the files, the about, the contact, and the index. Okay, so if I go ahead and open that file, right, let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and open that file. Let's actually preview this file in Django, right? So we said that once we come to home, we want to render a template with this template called home.index.html. All right, home/index.html. So if we refresh this page, right? Okay, so now this is what we are having, right? All those design are gone. The design is not actually working properly, right? But okay, it's fine, right? So this is how the site was being created, right? This is the raw HTML without those CSS, JavaScript, and the rest of them. Okay, so I remember I said that all those other files that are not HTML files are known as static file. Okay, and I said that we are always going to most times we are always going to have just one static folder. Please, someone that, okay, I think that has made it back his or herself. Okay, so I said that we are always going to have always, or most times they are always, and most times we are going to have one static folder. That's because this entire static folder here, we are going to put it, because this is a JavaScript folder that holds the JavaScript. Okay, that JavaScript folder that holds the JavaScript. This is the image folder that holds the images of that website. All right, and this is the CSS that holds the CSS of that website. Now all these, all right, all that are static folders, right? Are static files. So now we have to put these files in a folder called static folder. We said that. Okay, and now why we are going to have one static folder is because all these templates, all these HTML files here, right? All of them here are actually getting their design, or are actually making use of the same CSS, JavaScript, and image folder. That means all these HTML files here are making use of this. Okay, so we are going to arrange it in a way that all these files make use of these folders, right? That's why I say that we are always going to have one static, or most of the time, it's always going to be a one static folder throughout our entire project. Okay, so the way I'll do that is I'll go to my home app. Okay, now within my home app, the same way we did for templates. Okay, the same way we did for template, we do it for static. I said that's how we do it as well, right? So I'll right click on my home app. Okay, and then go ahead and say new folder, and then call this folder static, because it's going to hold a static files. Then inside that folder, I want to create another folder called home. Okay, and that is that. So if I open that up in here in my file explorer, if I go to my home app, now we have a static folder here. Then if I open up this static folder, I now have the home folder inside that static folder. Now if I open this static folder, this home folder, nothing is there yet. Okay, so we are going to copy this CSS images and JavaScript as far as and also this web fonts, okay, folder. We are going to copy it down to that static folder, right? Because they are not HTML files. So we copy all of them and then head over to my projects folder and to my home app and then paste it there. Okay, and then if I open this in VS Code, right? So we have those files here now, okay? We have those files there now. So now everything now is now here, right? Everything now is now here, but it doesn't still work, right? It doesn't still work, okay? Now, Python knows that someone has unmuted his or herself.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, question.
Good evening, sir. Sorry, I'm just joining the class because of network issues. Okay, I'm seeing a download folder where you have some pages and some images there. Okay. How do we get those folders?
All right. Remember we said that we are going to build a little project for ourselves. Okay.
Yes.
And that project was about blog, right? A blog kind of project, right? So yes. I said that I won't be coding the front end. That's the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, okay? Because that would take time, okay? So now what I did was we downloaded, okay? Because I believe most of us in the class now have actually downloaded those files, right? So we downloaded this template. If you check the chat section, you see
I'm just joining. The chat is empty.
Okay. I'll find a way and put that link there again for you. Okay, so now we downloaded this folder. So I'll select. Oh no, I'll just select. Oh gosh. All right. We downloaded this folder. This template. Okay, from online. Okay, so that is a pre-written HTML, CSS code. Okay. Now we downloaded it for the purpose of saving us the time of coding that front end. Okay, so this template is actually this is the template here. Okay, so we are actually trying to arrange it in a Django way that in a way that Django will actually understand where these files are. Okay, so that's what we are trying to do. Okay, so you go ahead and you download this template and then you follow up with us and see how we set them up in Django. Okay, so that folder here is just this. Okay, no problem. Go ahead and download.
So please, I also have another question. I saw you making a static folder inside inside the home. Okay. If we are putting it inside the home app, how would other apps in the same project reference it?
Okay, that's why I said that I'll show us in this class, right?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'll show you how other files.
Yes, I also came in a bit late because of network issues, but the website you just opened now, what are we downloading there? Because you just say we should just do the download, but you didn't specify what will be downloaded.
All right, I dropped a link. I don't know if you've seen that link. All right, now that link will take you to this page. Sorry, not this page, this other page, right? This page. Now, this page here contains an entire website. Right, this page contains an entire website that has been written, just the front end without no functionality. Okay, so now we are downloading it, right? We click on this free download here. We are downloading this template. Okay, then this template will be downloaded in a zip format. Okay, so now I think so now this page is back because I've been waiting for this page. So now if we have this page, right, if you click on that download, we have this page. What we can do is we can either wait till this countdown is over, okay, and then we click the download, button. Or what we can do is we can click on any of this icon here. So I'll click on Twitter, right? And then this menu here will pop up, okay? And then I'll go ahead and minimize it and then download it, okay? So any of it works, right? Any of those methods works. You can wait for a few milliseconds and then you download it. Now, once you download it, it will be in a zip format. Then you go ahead and you extract it. Once you extract it, this is what you will have. You have this.
Okay.
This is what you have. So this is what we are using, all right? So these are all HTML and JavaScript, CSS, and image files, right? But we didn't code it, right? And for someone sat down and code it and said that we can get it for free if only we follow them on Twitter. But it's quite unfortunate that we are Nigerians and we know how to go through backdoors and do things. So we don't follow the person, right? But they give us an option of either you follow or you wait. So I'll assume that we waited for that countdown to finish, okay? And then we download this template, all right? So the template is free, okay? It's not a paid template, okay? That's why it's not really that beautiful. But at least it's something we can work with, okay? We can work with it. So that's what we've done. So now what we're actually currently doing now is we are actually setting up this, right? Because currently now, if you just move this entire thing to Django, you have to place them in places that Django will see them quickly, okay? So far we've placed our index, contact, and about in the home app, right? So that, because that's where we want to manage those logic pertaining to if there's any logic on those pages, we want to manage it in the home app. So we've placed it in its appropriate place. That's inside the template folder, right? So I said that's what we'll be doing for today, for just today. Probably as we move on, we'll do same for other pages, okay? But so far, the page does not really look good on our own side. Okay, it's like this. So that's because this page have not yet seen the HTML, the CSS files, right? That will make it very wonderful. So now we have to move this folder because the CSS and the JavaScript image and web font is here in this folder. So you have to move that folder in also to its appropriate points. Okay, and I said that any file apart from HTML is known as a static file in Django. So that means we have to move this whole folder here to a folder called static folder within our project or our app somewhere in our project. Okay, so I said that we are always likely to have one static folder. That's because we configure it in a way that this static folder will now be referenced by other pages, okay, by other pages. So no point of putting static in all the apps, all right, and then using it. So we put it in one app and it references all other apps, okay? That's what we will do. So so far we've moved this also to a folder called static, all right? We've moved it to a place called static as well. So now what we will do is so we were here where I said that currently nothing is happening on that page. Even if we've arranged these things in where it should be, okay? Even if we arrange these things in where it should be, okay? So now, as there was one thing I said that we'll talk about as probably as we are using, as we are coding along the way, we talk about it, and which was template tags, okay? So I not talk about this. I said that as we are building the site, we'll talk about them, okay? So in today's class, we are going to talk about, I think, two of it, the include tag and let's see the other one, and the load tag, okay? You see how it works and what it does, right? You see how it works and what it does. So far, now we've configured these things to be in where it should be, okay? We've configured this thing to be in where it should be. That's the CSS files.
David, I was trying to create this new folder home under static, but it's telling me that I can't just, like, I have to put without HTML or CSS. Can I just put home and
sorry?
Because I was trying to do that.
Sorry, you mean where? In the template or the static? Which one? Right, like you try to create a home folder inside that folder.
Inside the static, yes.
And what did it say?
Okay, that's what.
Oh, okay, all right, no problem. Okay, so now we've moved those things to where it should be, all right? So now currently nothing is showing, right? But these files are actually here, but nothing is actually showing. Okay. So why that is not showing is because within our HTMLs, right? If you look at this, within this page, right? And within this HTML, we have some files that are here, okay? We have some files that are here, and Django cannot interpret those files because we have not tell Django how to interpret this file, right? And one of that file is here, which is this link here that links to a bootstrap CSS file, right? Which is this file here. It is CSS/bootstrap, this file here, right? Now that file is a static file, but that file is inside a template file. Now Django cannot interpret that file. Same thing with this other one that's happening here. This other CSS file here, this one here, and the rest of them, right? Now, also within this file, if you scroll down, we have other files as well. Like if you scroll down, we might see something else. Let's see. Might see something like an image file, okay? Like this. This is an image, right? But this is an image is what kind of file? It's a static file, okay? Now, but we haven't let Django know that this is a static file, so therefore interpret it as a static file, okay? So how do we do that? Now we use the load template tags, okay? The load template tags, right? Now what it does is we use it to load a certain library inside our HTML file, okay? So now we want to load the static library inside our HTML file, okay? So now what we do is at the top of this HTML, well, I feel like cutting up this name here, so I'll just go ahead and cut it out for now. But I'll cut it out, all right? So now at the top of this HTML, we have to do what? Use that tag so that Django will know, oh, that within this file they are static. Okay, that within this file that they are static files. Okay, so now it's load, right? So now after the load, Django is expecting you to put the library that you want it to load, and that library is called static. Right? So now currently we've loaded in the static libraries, right? But we haven't yet let Django know that okay, this particular file is what is the static file. Okay, this particular file here is the static file. Go ahead and load it. Okay. So now, in order to do that, we have to specify in each of these files, letting Django know, right, that this is the file that you are going to load. Okay, because currently the library is now in our HTML file, but nothing is still happening. Nothing is still working, right? But the library is there, right? But yet Django does not know what am I loading. Okay, what am I loading? Now we have to let Django know that you are loading these files. And how do we do that? We use this tag here called static, right? Now what we do is once we see the file once we see a file, right, that is a static file, we have to explicitly let Django know, okay, that this is one of those static files that you have to load. Okay, that's what it means. So what we do here is we come here, we explicitly let Django know that this file is called static, that this file here is a static file. Right? Now we put it in. Okay, let me try and see if I can write it outside here. All right, so you can see how it should actually look like. Then I'll go ahead and complete it. So how it should look like, it's like this. Now, once we see that file, right, that is a static file, this is what we do. We explicitly, okay, let Django know that this file is a static file, and we do that by saying static. Okay, static. Now, once we do
the bracket you use is what? Is it a curly bracket or?
It's a curly bracket. It's a curly bracket. Okay. So now we use static. Then in quotation, we now that file, right? The static file's name, right? The static file static. Can I spell? What do you know? Static file name. Okay. So that's how it should look like, right? This is how you explicitly let Django know that this particular file is a static file. So we do this for all the files, right? We do this for all the files, but for all the, I think the JavaScript and the CSS, as well as the images, right? As well as the images. So that's what we will do, because those files are static files. So now this file here is a static file. This line here, okay. In fact, all these files there are static files. So we just do them there, okay. So we've done the curly bracket open. Now do this.
How do we know? How do you know the files that are static?
Okay, once we see it, okay, those files will always carry either a CSS extension like this, right? That is a static file. An image will always carry either a PNG extension or JPG extension. Okay. Now, when you see those kind of extensions, you know that are a static file, or you see .js, that's JavaScript. You know that kind of thing is a static file, right? So it's easy to identify them. Okay. So now we tell here that now we do that for here now, static, and then the file name and where the file is, right? The file name is bootstrap.css, but the file is in CSS folder, right? But this CSS folder, we've copied it into our home folder, right? So normally this should be static, right? This should be static. Static folder. I can't spell static. What's going on tonight? Static / home, okay? And then / this HTML file, right? Let me explain that part well for you guys. Now, to reference that static, we have to go to where? Static, right? / we again home / we again CSS, and then / the bootstrap name. Okay, that's how we reference it. Okay, but since since we've explicitly let Django know that this is a static file, okay, automatically Django will go searching at a static folder, right? So no point of putting this static here, right? There's no point of putting that static there. So we just start with the home /css / bootstrap .css, okay? And then we close that quotation. We close that quotation, and then we close that tag, right? Then we close that tag. That is the remaining part of that tag, okay? So we do that again for the next one. So the next one here is same thing again. Is a jQuery kind of file, okay? A jQuery deso/slide.css. That's not an HTML, but any file that does not end with HTML is a static file, okay? So now we come here. We now let the static library to know what to load. That this file too is part of a static. Is part of a static folder. Sorry, a static file. Okay. So our curly bracket %, okay, and then static, okay, and then we open quotation, and this file is found in the home /css / jQuery and so on and so forth. Then we close the quotation, and then we close that tag there, okay. So same thing with other one. So what I'll do is I'll just copy here, okay, this beginning part, right? Because since it will be the same, both of them are in CSS folder, all of them. So I'll paste this here, and I'll paste this here, okay, and I'll paste this here, okay, and I'll paste that there. So same thing.
Yeah, I'm missing the hyphen, the / for home /CSS.
Oh, okay, home / and then / here. Okay, then I'll go ahead and close this tag here. I'll go ahead and close that quotation, and then close the tag. Same thing here. Close the quotation.
What's the meaning of the quotation?
These two things. Okay, that's what makes it. That's what makes it a template folder. So let's say a template tag. Now, if you know, any template tags are usually written in between this. All right, so it's kind of like a Django thing. So you must write like you must write it like that. Okay, you must write it like that. So it's a Django stuff, the template tag, right? So you write it that way. Curly bracket %, right? And then the tag, and then curly bracket, the curly bracket close, okay? Curly bracket close, okay? So, all right, so I think that is that for, that's what I'll cut this out. So I know that they are, so that is that for that template. All right, so okay, that's right. Let's see what. So I know that normally this template I've been downloading templates. So by default, I know that these files are always at the top and as well as the bottom of this file. So I'll move straight to the bottom, and then you see another bunch of JavaScript. So now we see one here called javascript.js. Is that the only JavaScript file there? It's for real. So we have other JavaScript file. This is here again. So we just have to put them as seen. Okay. All right. So we have one here. So we start with this one. Percent static. Okay. And open that quotation. That file is found in the home/JavaScript. Okay, it's found there.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is what we are going to do in all the whole HTML.
No, we do it in one and then we extend it. Okay, that's the good thing about Django. We do it in one and we extend it. Okay, so we have static here and then then here. I think we are almost done. Static. Okay, and then we do home. And then we do this. One more thing. So I'll copy this and paste it here, and close it.
So can I see the load?
Can I see
at the top. The
load
at the top.
Okay, the load.
At the top.
All right. I'll get back there. Okay, this is the last one here. All right. So we paste that in, and then we close this, and then we. So I think that is all the static file there for now. I see that the load there at the top. All right, so let's see what our file, our HTML now looks like. Okay. So finger crossed. Let's think should work. All right, so let's see. We'll go back to our page and let's refresh this. And boom, we're now having that. Everything is not working that well because we still have some images that are missing, which we will fix it later. We'll fix that image later. Okay. All right. So far, we've now have a very wonderful block there. Okay. So far we have a very wonderful block there. Okay. So next thing we want to do is so we might actually use most of those tags today. So that's for the static tag. Any question about that static tag, we use it to actually load other files that are not HTML files within HTML. Okay, we use it to do that. That's what we use the load tag for. Okay, so we load everything there. So another thing again is now we do again for the. Now we do again. Okay, so we'll not do it again, right? Another tag we want to use again. Another tag we want to use here is right, this block tag. Okay, so we've used the load tag, now the block tag, right? So now, what does the block tag do, right? What does the sorry, there's a question on the chat. Give me a few minutes, I'll get there. So now, another thing we have to do here now is to use the block tag, and I'll show you why we have to use that block tag, right? And I'll show you why we need to use that block tag. Now, what the block tag does is it's cut a particular section of an HTML code, meaning that it makes a particular section of an HTML code editable. Okay, so its format is like this: block. Okay, use the block, and then the block name, you can call it anything. So you can call it block content, right? You can call it block content. And then the way this block tag works is when you open it here, you have to close it down here. Like, so now what you do is you press it here, and then this other one will be end block, right? So that's how it works. So now what this thing does here is, if we extend this template, which I'll show you how we do that. If we extend this template to another template, meaning that if I go ahead and extend the index.html to the about.html, it means, what it means is that let the about.html use everything on this page except what is inside this block here. So if I have something like, let's say P here, if I have something like P, like a paragraph tab that says in the, let me go ahead put this in the index, okay, .html. Okay, I'm in the index.html. So that's what we have here. Let me cut it and put it in the body, right? In the body tag. So let's say that this is what we have here in, okay, this is what we have here that says I'm in the body tag. It means, is it pressure now? What it means is that if I extend this template, right, to another template, I want you to go ahead and bring everything from this template, okay, down to that template. Now, anything that's inside here, okay, should be editable in that other template. What it means here is, right, let me go ahead and let me just show you in illustration, okay? It will make sense. Let me show you in illustration. So now this is the index file, okay? I'll go ahead and extend this. I'll go ahead and extend it to the home. Sorry, the contact, right? So now, how do you extend a template? We use the extend tag, right? So that's the third tag we are going to use. The extend tag. This tag here extends, okay? So now the way that tag works is you extend it and then you attach with it, okay? So this is the contact.html. So the way this thing works is it will extend is almost like the load, okay? Extends, sorry, it should be in lowercase. Extends, okay? And then what am I extending? Okay, you now specify it in a string. And I want to say that I want to extend the index, okay, .html, right? But this file can't just be found in the template folder. This file can be found in the home. So it will be home/index, okay? It will be home/index. So now let's go over to the let's wait the URL. So now let's go to the about page, which is actually going to show that about.html, okay? Let's go to the contacts. Okay, so real quick, I'll do that for contacts because we just extended to the contact. So I'll just do this real quick. And this should be contact view, okay? Contact view, contact. And then this should show contact, okay, .html. And the URL to get here is this, contact me, okay? So it's home/contact me, okay? So let me show you what
put the contact. You did not put the contact in partition, no?
I didn't put
it. You didn't import it. You did not import the contact.
Sorry, contact. Go ahead and import that up there, okay? So now, if I go ahead if I go back to our home/contact me, is it contact me that we? Let's see. Contact me, okay? That URL there, contact me. So if we do this, contact me, dash me. Now we are in the contact me, okay? We are in the contact me, and it's still showing us the home page, right? It's still showing us the home page. Now you might be wondering, why is it still showing us the home page? What it means that it has brought, since we extended that home page to the contact page, it has now brought everything that is in that home page and now replace it with everything in the contact page. So what is happening here? Okay, if I go back to this our HTML file here, what is happening here Let me close other file. What is happening here, right, in this contact page is Django, because of this extend here, okay, Django have not been able to see this, right? Now, the only thing that can make Django to see this is if we put this in a block, meaning that if you come, if you look at this our page, we have something here that says I'm in the index.html, but we are here in the contact me page, right? So meaning that this page should be showing us the contact me page, but it's still showing us the home page. That's because we extend it, okay? We extend it, and once we extend a particular file to a particular file, now that file that is being extended to now inherit. It's more like an inheritance. Now inherits everything from the index.html. Now, if you see now, we are now having what is called here, I am from the index page. So now I said that the way that block element works is this. Now it means that if in that template, if you are extending that template to another template, the only place you can edit are the place within that block, meaning this is the index.html. We are extending this index.html to the contact.html. So we are actually saying that this block here means that if for any reason we extend this, okay, I want you to overwrite everything in that page and then give the user the permission to only edit something that is inside this block element. So if I copy this block element down here, okay, and paste it here, right, meaning that the only way I can change something from that comes from that the only way I can change whatever comes from the index is that thing must be in the block element, okay? That thing must be in the block element. Now, if I change this and now say that I am in the contact, right, .html, contact, let's see, contact.html, right? If I say that I'm not, if I've not hated this, now if I come here and refresh it, if I come here and now refresh it, it now shows I am in the contact.html. If I go back to our home, okay, it now shows I am in the index.html. If I go back to again to the contact me, okay, to the contact me, he now shows I am in the contact.html. Meaning, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that once we extend this page, the only thing that we can edit in this page, okay, from in this index.html page are the things within the block elements. Is there any confusion with that?
Come again, please.
Okay, I should come again.
Big one, oh, big one.
Okay, let me come again. Let me try to explain that block tag again. But you guys understand the load tag, right? You guys understand that load tag? Okay, so no response, I believe. Okay, so now okay, so I believe you guys understand. All right, so now the block elements, right? Let me see if I can do this in writing. I think writing is always better. So let me go ahead and duplicate this tag. Okay, a question.
Okay, so you asked me if we understand the load tag. The load tag is inputting the static files inside and then making them readable by the Django and then loading it. Is that what the load tag stands for?
So I think I lost the ending part of what you said. Sorry, I didn't really hear you again. Sorry, come again.
I just wanted to be sure that I understand what load tag is. I just wanted to summarize it.
Okay.
So that you can tell me correct or wrong.
Okay, so what did you say? Sorry.
That the load tag is when you input the static files and then you make them readable by the Django and then you load them. Is that what the load tag means?
Yeah, it means that, but you're not putting it properly. Okay, what it does, what that load tag does is now the load tag helps to make to let Django read external files that are not HTML files. Okay, so now within our HTML file, we've now imported a CSS file inside that file, right? And that file helps in designing that page. Okay, so now in order for Django to actually recognize that file as a static file, we now bring in the load tag that now specify the static that we want to load the static library, and then specify that this file should be seen as a static file, even if that file is within an HTML file. Okay. So I believe I've put it well for you. Okay. So right. So about the block elements, right? So let's see if I can do it properly here. Right. So I am in the index. Okay. In the index. Okay. God, what is going on with spelling today? In the index.html. Okay. .html. Right. We want to extend this file. Okay. This is what we are extending. Okay. This is what we are extending. Right. Okay, this is the extended file, right? This is the file that's been extended, right? And then the contact, all right? And then the contact .html. The contact.html is more like the inherited file, right? The one that's inheriting file, I think. The inheriting file, right? So this file is being we are extending this file, right? And this file is the one that is being inherited, and the contact one is the contact.html is the file that is actually inheriting. Okay. So now what happens? What happens is that once we extend this file down here, it just copy everything from this file down to this file. Do you guys understand to that point? That if we extend this file to this file, that it will copy everything from this file to this file. Do you guys understand that point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so good. So now, since this is going to copy everything from this file to this file, and we don't want that kind of situation, the contact, okay, has its own kind of write-up design, okay, but we don't want to bring we don't want to copy, we don't want to copy everything that is in this file to this file, okay. So we want to make room so that if you copy everything here, we want to make room of what we can actually delete in this other part of the file. I don't know if you guys understand. Like the block tag helps to make room, okay? Makes room for us to specify, okay, this is what I want to delete when it comes to this other part of the file and put my own file. I don't know if you guys have understand that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, good. You guys have understand that the block tag, right, is trying to make room. So the block tag is trying to make room. Block tag is trying to make room for, so that once this file is being copied down here, we now have a room to actually come and put like a separate design or probably a separate picture for the contact page. You guys understand that now, right? So that's what the block tag does, okay? That's what the block tag does, okay? So in this our index here, right? Now we not put the extend here. That's because it is this file that's being extending, like is the extended file, like is the file that's going to be extended to another file, okay? So no point of putting the extend here, okay? Because you can't extend like you can't copy me to me, okay? You can't extend me to myself, right? So no point of putting it there. So we are putting it in the contact file. So we are saying this line here saying means copy everything from index.html and put it in this file, okay? So it's basically just saying repeat what is repeat everything here. So that means that everything that's on this page, everything that's on this page like this is being copied down to this page, everything, okay? So now we now say that we want to make room so that we can at least put our own, because in this contact page now, if you scroll down, you see where they say where they include contact, right? And then they put small form there and make it wonderful. We want to put this part now in our own part, okay? Now how do we do that? Okay, now we now use the block and say, okay, we want this room, all right? We want this kind of room, all right? So now it means that if I copy this page down here, okay, and then within that page that I copied it to, I see this block there again. It means that everything that's inside here, okay, go ahead and use what is inside this one now and replace it, right? So it means that when I copy everything here, because that's what the extend does. When I copy everything here, with this block content, okay, and come here and paste it, okay. Now, if I see the same block content here again, okay, now replace this, okay, replace what is here in this block content of the index.html, replace it with what is here now in the contact.html, and then copy the rest. I don't know if that makes sense. That's why when we had this, when we were in the home page, okay, in the home page now we have a place called I am in the index.html, okay. So now when we now extend this whole page, okay, to the contact me page, okay, oh god, I've changed that link, sorry. Link should be this. When we now extended that the index to the contact me page, okay, when it went there, it now saw the same contact block, the same block there again. So now what it does now was that it now replaced what came from the index with what we have here, okay. That's why we are having when we were in the home page, we now have I am in the index page. Now when we now get here, we now had I am in the contact page, okay. It now replaced, when it now gets here, it copied everything, but since there's that block there, that block tag there, it now replaced what we have here, okay. It now replaced what came from here. It now replaced it with what? With this. So now here now change from I am in the index page, now replace it with I am in the contact.html. Understood? Is it still confusing?
No, sir. No, sir.
You guys understand it now better, right?
No.
Still not understanding.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's see what's going to happen now. Let's see what is going to happen. Okay. So probably it's like I'm doing it in a small format. Let me do it in a more wider format. All right. So I'll go ahead and delete this. Okay. I'll go ahead and delete this. Now, I'll delete this also, right? So now let me go back. All right. So now this is our index page, right? This is our index page. Okay. Now, if I'm in the home page, right? This is the home page, right? But if I navigate to where? If I navigate to contact, okay, contact me page, you are still seeing, excuse me, you are still seeing the same page, right? Which shouldn't be so, okay? Which shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be like that, okay? It shouldn't be like that. Now, so let me do it in a more wider scale, probably. Let me do it in a more wider scale, then you understand. All right, so this is the, right, so this is where all this is the header, right? You guys know that already now. That's HTML. All that is the header. So this is where the actual banner starts, like this from here, right? This way from here, right? Starts from this picture. This picture here that says engaging purposefully starts from here. It starts from here. So the rest up there are this header. This header meaning that all these things that we are having here, right? That's the header. So now what I want to do is I want to after that header, I want to go ahead and say block body. All right, I'll use block body, and then before the end or at the end of the page, okay, before the footer, because the footer, we want the footer to show on every page, right? Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing for all the pages. So this is where the footer stops. So I will believe that this is, let's see what you have there.
Hello, sir. The block we are doing, the block we are blocking, are we blocking it with the name of the tag?
Sorry, I think I've lost that question. Sorry, I don't understand the question. Come again, please. I think I've complicated things for all of us. All right. So what's the question again? Sorry. End block. Okay, I think we've lost him. End block. All right, so
I
so
think I
like
was trying to ask that the block words that we are putting
the block tag.
the block tag we are putting, is it the name of the app? You know, initially
no, the block, like mean wait, I don't understand. Like mean if this block here.
You were putting I am at inside the home inside the about me page, you were putting I am in the about me. Inside the contact, I'm in the contact. It says after that, is that the block tag we are putting?
Like if that's the block tag.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, my question is: you are using the HTML tag name to block. Does it have anything to do?
No. This thing is
like
yes,
a name. Know what you are blocking.
Yes, this is like a variable. It could be anything. Okay. So now I think I've done this in a wider scale, so probably you understand. So what I've done is I've added block at here. Let me show you. I've added a block tag here, okay, at the top of before, like after this headers, all right, and then added the end block before this footer, all right. So now we are still having the same page, no doubt. Okay, I think you have a problem.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, I'll explain it well better again for you. Just give me a few minutes. I'll explain it. Hey, you guys understand it. Just give me a few minutes. I'll see. There's a mistake in the
I don't know
spelling.
if I'm the only one having this issue, not being able to hear what you're saying.
Okay, so I think yeah. All right, so now I've added the block tag at the end of the page, and as well as and as well at the at the top of this page, and as well at the bottom of this page. Okay, so we'll understand that in a bit. We understand that in a bit. All right, so or probably I should even put it in the entire page. Let's see what is happening. Let's see what's happening. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll cut this.
That page you just showed. That page you just showed.
Okay.
Is that what you have been building?
Actually, I didn't build that myself. Okay, so we downloaded that page. Okay, if you came in earlier, you have noticed we downloaded that entire website. Okay, we downloaded. We couldn't sit down to build that. Okay. All right. So see what's happening here. All right. So this one should be better now. All right. So let's see what's happening here. All right. So let's see what's happening here. So if I now I'm currently in the home page. Okay, I'm in the home page. Okay. So I said that if we go to the contact page, okay, that is the contact me page, we are still having the same page, right? We are still having the same home page here, right? So now I now say that the way the block tag works is that the block tag will copy everything. Sorry, the extend tag, all right, will copy everything from that page and then put it in this other page, okay, which I said here, which I say here that if you are extending from the index.html, okay, that it will copy everything that's in the index.html and then paste it here, okay, which is what is happening now. Okay, so if I show you now, which I will take this out. If I show you now, okay, if I go to the home page, this is the home page, okay. So we extended this home page to where the contact me page, and we are still having the same page, right? That's because the extend has copied everything from the index.html and pasted it in the contact.html. You guys understand that fact, right? You guys understand that fact?
I mean, yeah.
Yes, I understand, but I don't know how to copy it. But let's move on.
Okay, why it's copied? All right. Okay, why it's copied it is because the extend, okay, what the extend does, that is what it will just copy everything that is in the index file, the index.html, and paste it in the contact.html. That's what the extend does, okay. That's what the extend does. All right. So
what's the code for to extend? Like
to extend the tag? Okay, just write extends, okay, and then the template you are extending, and you're extending the index.html, which is found in the home folder, okay. So now you copy everything from that file and paste it in the contacts file. That's why when we go to the home/home, if you go to home-home, we see the same page. If we come to contact me again, if you come to contact me, we still see the same page, okay. So now, how can we keep, or how can we leave?
Hello, sir.
Question.
Hello, sir. Please, this block is still confusing me. Another thing again, network is just logging in and logging out. My question is, this block, does it work? No, first of all, this block, does it work with extend?
Which I mean this block, like the block tag?
Yes, does it work with extend?
The block tag kind of work, yeah, it works hand in hand with the extend, because if you are extending a file, it is recommended that you actually put the block tag, okay, so that it doesn't actually copy everything to that page, okay?
Okay. Now the block tag, now what the block tag does, based on what I understand, is this thing, when you are designing a website, you will like what, like now the index file, now there is a the index file like that has a header and everything, where that will be showing home and all those stuff. Supposed to be the same thing in other web pages. So the extend enables that to be able to work, right?
Yes.
Then secondly, the block now work as maybe those particular thing, maybe based on what I understand though, that I don't want to show on that particular page you did extend. We just use block to copy.
Exactly. That is what is happening here.
How do we, my question now is, how do we know that particular thing you don't want to show?
Okay, yeah, that is, now that particular thing that we don't want to show on other pages are those ones that will be inside that block tag, okay? No, those are the things that will not show on that page, okay? Let me show you what I mean. Okay? So now, if I have a block tag in the index, okay? So here's a block body, okay? It could be anything, okay? Block body, and then
sorry sir, that block tag now, is it going to be in that particular page you extended?
Yes, it will be on both pages. It will be on the both page.
Like on which one and which one? It will be on the, maybe let's say on the index, and also be on the contact.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay, so now let me see how I can illustrate this using this. Okay, all right. What is happening here is you guys there, right? So now the index, now you put this, okay, on both files, both the extended file and the inheriting file. You put that, okay. So now whatever is inside here, let's say whatever is inside here, right? Whatever is inside this block, okay, this block body here, okay, is the one that we do not want to show, okay. So whatever we put means that if we extend this file, I do not want this part to show in that file. That's what it means. I do not want this part to show in that file, but this part will show in this index file, okay. That's if we are in the home page, go ahead and show this. But once we extend this, okay, I do not want this part of this code to show on that page on that file that is inheriting from me, right? That's what it means. So now once this file inherits this now, okay, and now sees this, it's now know that, okay, that this part, that this file, that this code here, right, is from where it's from where I'm inheriting from, okay. It's from where I'm inheriting from. So now what it does, how do we override this? We now go ahead and do the same thing, okay, a block body and an end block body in the inheriting file, and then we go inside here. Now we now go ahead and put the one that we want to show in that section, okay. So let me illustrate that and show you. So now I'm in the contact page and also in the home page, right? And also, sorry, if I go to the home page and the contact page, we will have this, okay? So now that's because I have said that every page, right, or everything from that page, okay, should be extended, should come to this page. So that means at this first line that in the contact.html, Python in Django no longer consider the rest of this file. Okay, so the only thing that will make Django to consider the rest of this file is if Django comes here and see this same tag here again. Okay, Django will now say, okay, Django will now go ahead. Okay, Django will now go ahead. So now if you see that, now you can see that if I put this tag here with nothing inside it, with nothing inside of it, right? Nothing still happens. It will still show the same page, even if I'm here. Right, okay, right. So okay, that's gone. Right. So now what happened here is that now I said that once Django sees this, right? This line here says extend. Okay, Django no longer consider this other part of this code. Okay, Django no longer consider that part of that code again. Okay, so the only thing that will make Django to go ahead and consider the other part of the code is that if Django see the same tag, right, the same tag that we used in the extended file. Okay, if you that same tag here, you can go ahead and put here, right, and then put nothing there, and then come to this page, nothing shows. Okay, that's because I put that tag at the top of the page and the end of that page, right? So now when it's now copied that page down here, okay, it now go ahead and overwrite it now, right? So here now we are actually overwriting what is being copied from here. Okay, so now if I come here and put in some nonsense there, okay, and then come here and refresh, it shows. Okay, now that one shows for the contact page now, but if I go back to the home page, we still have this. Okay, but if I come back here to the contact, we don't have that anymore. Okay, well, that's because, right, that's because of this block tag here, right? Now this block tag have now overwritten what has now been copied from here. Okay, why that is because this block tag is at the beginning of this document and also at the end of the document. Do you understand what's happening there? So we've actually extended it down here, but when coming down here, we've overwritten it to this. Okay, so now we now say that we don't want it. We now want it to show this other part. That's what is happening here. That what is happening in the contact page here. Okay, so I said that once Django sees this, the next thing that Django will even consider is a block tag. Every other thing that comes under there is irrelevant. Django does not see them again. It now becomes invalid. Like there's no need of putting them. So even if I cut it out, this is the only thing that in Django will actually take into consideration. Anything within this tag, Django will take it into consideration. Okay, anything within this tag now, Django will take it into consideration. All right. So that is what is happening there. Okay. But if you go to home, we have our home page. Now we copied everything to this contact page, and then we now overwrite it to have this. Are you people still confused?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
My own question is this. What we want to extend, I believe, is the CSS
and as well,
that we apply.
Yeah, and as well as the header and the footer. Okay.
All the static part I don't want to extend.
Is okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
So how do we know where to now place the block?
Okay, that's okay.
You know what to block out and what not to block out.
Block out. Okay,
that's the whole thing is long.
Yeah, the whole thing is long. Okay, but if once you are in this web, like if you stay a little longer in this web section of technology, okay, you will know, okay, you will know that by default, okay, because this the same way Python read lines of code line by line, okay, read code line by line. The browser actually does this too, line by line, okay. The browser actually does this line by line. So if you look at this, if you go to our home page, okay, if you go to our home page, now we have this web block. Where is this web block, right? Because we are reading this page from the right hand side down, okay. that how it goes, okay? That how it goes. So now if you look at this page, line, if you come from the top, okay, look at it line by line, line by line, you see web block. And what are we seeing here? We are seeing web block. So that means we are actually in this place, like in this portion now. So if I go ahead and ask something else there, let's see what happens there. And I refer this. Okay, since that's not the one, okay, for some obvious reason, since that's not the one, so it should show, but not showing, right? So probably that's not the one. Okay, that's not the one. So let's see. Let's see what's happening there again. So we're blocked. So let's keep going down, and let's see if we find. Let's see if we will actually find it. A web block. Web block. Okay, web block, and it says back again. And so this is very, let's see, FFF, and let's see. And that is not taking effect. Why is that? Why is that not taking? Yeah, it should take effect here. Okay, it should take effect. But it happened. Oh, sorry. I'm doing that in the wrong page. Okay, so now I'm in the contact page. So I'll go back to the index page, right? Sorry. Index page. Okay, so now if you look at this web block, right? If we go ahead and do this, let's just add something like that. Okay, now if you refresh this, so we have that is showing there now DDD. Okay, that means that's where we are now on that page. Okay, so now if you look at this, because they have you look at this page and we just know where we are. Okay, so now if you look at this again, we now see announcement say welcome back. Right? If you come here, where is welcome back? Here it is, welcome back. So currently we are still here in that range, right? So now we come here again, and then we see some certain icons here that says Fab Pinterest. Okay, that's a font icon. Okay, that's a font icon. Yeah, font awesome. Okay, so I think that's the library for that. Okay, so this icon there is actually this icon here, right, on that side now, right? So now, if you look at it again, we now have home, about, and rest of them here, standard block, column block, and so on and so forth. So now where are we now? That means we are now here, home, about, standard block, column block, and contact, right? So now we are now here, right? So now we can now know that, okay, this is where we are at this page, okay? And I need this page to show in that other page, okay? So now how do we do that now? I can now come here now and now say, okay, fine. So now, instead of putting my block tag at the top there, okay, I'll cut it and then say, okay, I want all this side to show in other pages, okay? But when it comes to here, when you see the body, right, I want just the body, okay, to be edited or to be changed in other web pages, okay, okay? I want the body. So once I see the header, that means that's where the header stopped, okay? That's where the header stopped. So now I can now come in here and I say, okay, after that header, I want that header to show in all pages, so I'll put it outside the block. Now the one that I want it to always change in other pages, okay, and I'll put it inside this block. So now if I go back to our home page and we refresh this, we now have this page now is now showing, okay, that up now is not showing, but the rest of it now is now being overwritten here. Yeah. Okay, it's not being overwritten because when this thing now, because when it extends down here, okay, the only thing that it expects to show in this page are things that are inside this block, okay, are things that are inside this block. Anything outside this block will not show. That's because it is this page that is inheriting from another page, okay? So anything you want to show in this page, in this particular page, okay, must be within this block. Come here and say new block, and then I refresh this. Stay on this page must come inside that block. Page 2 must be inside this block. So that's why we're having this picture, because this picture now is inside that block. But when it comes to here, okay, so we this. So I'll now cut the end block, I'll now cut it and now put it above the footer. was that? Okay, I'm still in the home. All right, so come here and then cut this part of this block. Cut it, and then let's say take it up to where we see where the footer starts. Okay, let's see. So I think the footer starts from here. Okay, so we put it above that footer, so that footer can show on all other pages. Okay, so everything inside this block now, so everything inside this block tab will now be overwritten. All right. So now if I go back to our contact page and refresh this, now we now have this small space there that is showing, and that small space is showing because of that contact block tab. Okay, but the header and the footer is not showing. That's because the header and the footer are outside the block tab. Understood? Or still confusing?
Okay, I understand now. Let me just like say the way I understand it.
Okay,
So,
okay, let's see. Okay.
Understand. Okay, now this is just like normal website, like every website has a home page which is indexed, and even if you are clicking on about me, the header and footer shows in everything, but the body changes.
Okay, okay.
Web pages, right?
Okay. Yes,
so
sir.
Now, what the block does in the parent class, that the parent class I mean is the index page. You understand what it does there? It enables us to like copy what we want, what we like, what we want to like what we don't want to show on the class, which is the contact page.
Okay.
You understand? Like what we don't want to show. Let me just use the word cut. You
Okay.
understand? We use the blood to cut what we don't want to see. And when I say that, okay, we don't want to see the body. After we want to see the header. So after the header, we now put block to block the body of that particular index page, because contact page has its own different body that is not the same with the index page. So we now like block the index body and end it where the beginning of footer starts, because we need the footer to show in the child class, which is the contact page. So coming to this child class now, which is the contact page, what we are going to do now is to block. I think is to block now is just what we are. Anything that we block here is what we are going to show. We now have to block. We now have to block the page, the home, the body, and end it where the body ends as well. It will not show.
Exactly. Yes, that's what we are going to do. Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Someone writing on my screen. All right. So I believe that explanation, that particular explanation helps. Okay. So I believe that particular explanation helps. All right. So that was you're actually basically just doing. All right. We are now specifying. Okay. I want these other parts to show on all other pages. Okay, and then this other parts should show on just my own page. Okay, that's what it means. So we'll do.
Excuse me, sir.
All right, ma. Go on.
Sorry, network keeps logging me out. Even through the course of this video, some parts are being paused.
Yeah, I don't know why network is doing that. Network is doing that. I don't know why. Network just logging me too and explain
it's the network now. It's the network. That's what network these days.
All right.
Okay, sir. Since now, I actually wanted to keep the question to the end of the class, but since you're already where I need, like the screen now is at the header tag, those CSS links, I want to just have a glimpse of how you linked them, because I actually tried it personally to link, but I was getting errors.
All right, so this is okay. Let's see where were we. All right, so this is how we did it. We loaded this tag here up there. Okay, and then we now specify to Django that these links here are actually CSS links, okay, CSS files, okay. And then remember, we add home to it. That's because we've copied that folder and put it in our home folder. So we're not adding home. So that's how we did it. So the video will be on YouTube, okay. So for those guys that network keep logging you guys out, okay. Honestly, I'm sorry for that.
Okay, sir. I still have another question. This one, I don't know, maybe I'll be going out of scope a little, but I think the blog, can you just go to the blog that is on the Chrome? Let me ask from there.
All right, so let's go to the blog.
Okay, now if we click, this is a home page, I assume. So
yeah,
now we click from home page, we want to go to about.
Okay.
That is I think it's called a link, linking the pages. Now from about, and we go back to home page. Now those kind of linking,
how do we do it?
How do we do it? How do we get the part, like the absolute part or related part? How do we get them to work?
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I will show you that. Okay. So we don't do that. I think that's the last thing we'll do, and then we call it a day. So I'll just watch this work, all right? So probably after the class, you guys can continue with the rest of the pages, right? But you guys understand this block, right? That the block actually does what? Specify which section should not show on other pages, okay? Just let that, okay, that's the simplest definition I can give. It specifies which section should not show on a page, okay? So that means if you add this block to this page, to the index file, and then we extend it, okay, it means that everything outside the block will show on this page. Now anything inside this block will not show on the page, okay? That's what it means. So that's why when we come to the home page, we have this wonderful home page. If you go to the about, to the contact me page, we have this small thing here, right? So that small thing there is because of this, okay? Because that's the only thing there that's actually showing there. So now we are having the footer and the header on this page. That's because the footer and the header are outside the block in the index.html, okay? So we go ahead and fix that for the contact me page, okay? So what I'll do now is I will cut this block tag, and then I will now come down to where? To the body, to here, and then paste it. So I paste. So now that means all these now are invalid because this will not even show up, okay? That will not even show up. So now, and I want this block to end somewhere, right? I want this block to end where? So I want this block to end before the footer, right? So let's see where the footer. Let's see where the footer. So this is where the footer starts. So you want this block to end before there, okay? So end block body, okay? End block body, right? So that means everything outside here too is invalid. So here is gone. So now you see how we shrink that code. It makes life easier. So now if I go back and refresh this now, we now have the contact page, right? With the header and the footer, okay? Without necessarily putting it, without that link, all those CSS link here again, because that CSS link now comes from where? The index file, okay? That CSS link now comes from the index file, okay? So I believe that is, you guys understand that. So another thing now that we should do is the link. How do we do that for link? So, okay, I'll do it for one more file. That is the about page, right? I'll do it for the about page. So same thing again. I'll do it for the about page. And let's see contact. So I'll copy this up part first. So the about page, what do we not want to show? Or because so the header comes from the index, so we don't need the header anymore. So here all this is gone. So we paste that. We extend the home index again. So we copy this, and then we end this before the footer. So we end it here, and then we say end block.
Did you put extend in the?
Yeah, I put it the extend. I put it the extend block body, and so here it's gone. So here we don't need this anymore, because that will come from the index. already, okay? So here I put it extend home/index, all right? And this is block body. So if you go to contact us, you go to about me, okay? Let's see about me and see how the about me looks like. All right, so let's see the about me. All right, so this is the about me, about dash me, and this is okay. So this is the about me, and everything is up and everything is set now, okay? Everything is set. So now still we are still having one problem is if you click on this, it shows us page not found. All right, that's because we can actually do this, right? But okay, I'll show you two methods, right? But I won't advise us to do it the first method. So now this here is now showing where only in the index. So this is the header, right? And this header is coming from where the index file. So we go straight to the index file. Where's the index file? The index file is here, right? So the href is saying is now going to index.html, which shouldn't be so in Django. Which shouldn't be so in it shouldn't be so in Django, right? So it shouldn't be so, right? So let's see. I'm looking for that home where it say home. All right, so this is where it say home, all right? So now how do we do this? So now what we can do is all right, I'll just show you. Okay, I think I'll just stick with the easiest part. Let's leave the other part because we will never use it. We will never use it. So now what we can do is we can go to our app URLs, right? Now, if you go to our URL, so now we have 3 URLs here, right? We have 3 URLs here, okay? So this is the URLs that we have here. So how do we actually link these things so that when someone click here, it's just go to the page. So if I click it, just come here, right? So instead of showing that, it just come there. But
copy the link.
So now what I can do is I can actually come here and copy this and right then go to and then go to can actually come here and go to about. Let's see what about is doing. So I can come here and go to about, and this about I'll just paste this. Okay, if I paste this in the about home/about.me, okay, this will work very well. Okay, so if I refresh this, let's see about. If I click on that, it is showing me double of it. What? I think that's not working. Okay, so well, that aside, let us do it in the correct way, okay, or in the proper way. So what is going to happen here is what we can do is we can give this part, each of our part, a name, okay, a name which we can actually reference in that HTML template, right? So now this part takes in, remember I said that the part takes in 3 arguments. Same thing with the render. The part 2 takes in 3 arguments: the URL, the view, and then the name as an optional argument. Okay, so now I can come here and say name of this, right? Name of this URL is equals to okay, so now I want to call this URL the home view, right? The home view, right? It could be anything. You could call it anything, okay? You can call it anything. So I'll do the same for the other views. Copy this, okay, and paste there and paste here as well. So I'll call it other one the about view, okay? About view, and then I'll call it other one the contact view, okay? The contact view, right? So that's the name of it. So now what we do is we go to our HTML, right? And then we now use one more tag. So today we've used how many tags? We've used the block tag, we use the extend tag, we've used the include tag, we've used the load tag. Now the tag that we're going to use now is the URL tag, right? We use the URL tag, right, to make a dynamic kind of URL, okay? To make the URL more dynamic. And how does that work? As usual, we will write our tag, our template tag, curly brackets, percent open and close, and then we close this, and then we close this curly brackets, all right? And then we use URL, and then this URL will text in the URL name, okay, as a string. So in this one, we named it the about view, right? We named that about view. So we just go ahead and write the name of that view there, the about view. So we have to index about view, okay? about view, and I'll do the same for the rest of them. Copy this and I'll do the same for home. So home was home view, okay? Home was home view. Home was home view, okay? And then think that for is a contact. Let's see contact view, okay? There's contact there, so we press the contact there and say contact view. That's what we named it as, contact view, okay? So if I come back here and I refresh our page, okay, now if I click on this, okay, I'm currently in the about page, right? I can see the about there. Okay, now if I click on home, it takes me back to home page, and then if I click on contact, it takes me to contact page. So as easier as that. So that's how we will link it dynamically. So now even if we go to our now if you come to our browser, now that's the URL that says home dash contact me. Now even if, because for some reasons clients can be very funny, they can tell you that that they don't like how this URL looks like, okay, that we want something like about me slash about dash me slash let's say client, okay, client, because client and say that I want my URL to look like this. So had it been we had coded this, like we actually wrote this, like had coded this, okay, into our template, that means that we have to go to each of our templates and change it, right? But with us giving our URL names, okay, it doesn't really matter, okay. So now we can still go to our about, okay, we can still go to our about and click, and it's sorry, we can still go to about let me rephrase this. You can still go to our about, and then I click and it still takes us to the about page, okay. That's because is the name, of course. This name here makes it more dynamic. So even if you come here and then we customize this thing as anyhow we want it to be, blah 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 blah, okay. So even if we do that and then we come here and we refresh, sorry, let's go back again and let's refresh this. So we refresh, okay, and then we go to that, it still shows the about, okay. We don't have, but look at the URL. So that, see, so now that's how we can make that URL more dynamic, right? So now this doesn't affect us anymore. So now we are just interested in this name. As far as this name doesn't change, okay, then it is okay. So another thing is the way I like doing mine, so that just in case I have another URL in another app, okay, that also bears the same name like the home view, okay, that might cause a problem, okay. So now I have to, the way I like doing it, I like to explicitly tell Django that I need the home view in the home app, okay. So the way to do that is I can give this app a name. So just come to the URL.py, okay, and then put in app name, okay, and then give this app a name. This name could be anything, okay, but I'll give it the same name of this app, which is home, okay, which is home. So now what I'll now do now, I'll go back to the index, and then instead of writing the view like this, I'll now come here and now put home colon home, and then colon. What that thing means, go to the home, to the contact view that is in the home app, okay, just in case we have another contact view in another app, so that it doesn't cause any conflict. So now I am explicitly telling Python, go to the contact view in the home app. Okay, so I'll do the same for this other one too. So I put home here, since all of them are in the same app, and home here as well, okay, and that makes it more dynamic. So
can I see the URL?
All right,
so URL.
Okay, I'll show you that. So if I click on contact, it still works, about still works, and home still works. So what you do is go to your URL and add this, just this app name, and then give this app a name, finish. And then this name now use it in the URL, and you explicitly tell Django, I mean the home view in the home app, or the about view in the home app, and so on and so forth. So that's for today's class. So now we can see that we are going to have just one static folder, okay, and then we keep extending, and then using the block tag, we will do the rest for the rest of the template as we move on. So for today, we'll be able to set up the block is quite unfortunate that we've not even touched what we have to do for today. Okay, so probably in the next class we'll do that and then we'll continue. Okay, so we've been able to set up our block. So our block now is now currently showing from our server. Okay, from our server. It's not showing directly from it's not showing directly from the machine itself. It's now running on our server and it's running perfectly well. Okay, so that is that for today's class. In next class, we'll continue from here. So far we've done something good. At least this is presentable. We can present this. So what I will say is probably we can go back and then fill up the remaining static files, like the images. So like if you scroll down, we can see an image. Then like here there's an image here, right? There's an image here. So what we can do is we can just come here and then do the same thing. Let Django load that image, okay? Static. And then we say this is in the home. Okay, slash that, close that quotation and this and that. And let's see what that image was. So I think it should be this image here. So let's refresh this and see. All right, so it was this image here, and that image has now shown. So that's that. So you can go ahead. Sorry?
Can you play the video?
No, it won't play the video. There's no functionality that plays that video, okay? Well, yes, it does play the video. Well, whoever created the template does well. So probably we will make it, that video will come from our back end, okay, and so on and so forth. All right, so we can go ahead and add the remaining part of this. I think this is an image here, but we haven't loaded it. So you go ahead and load them for each of those things. Okay, but I will still do them, Sha. So that's that for today's class. We'll continue from here in our next class. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Okay.
Goodbye. Night.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good night. Queen.
Goodbye, Queen.
Queen. Queen.
Those people that attended this class from beginning to the end, we did on our hand, though, I beg you.
Emo, you dey here, Abi?
I'm ending the class now. Okay, so you guys can continue the conversation probably on Slack or on please.
Okay, let me ask you quickly.
Okay.
It's not about today's lecture because today's lecture has come and gone.
Okay.
When I see your video, I'll look at it in details tomorrow. If I can make sense of it, fine. If I cannot, on Wednesday, all the issues I have, I'll bring them up.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, so I'm still getting error getting my pages out.
Did you submit the tax? Go ahead and submit the tax. Let's go ahead and submit the tax.
The tax is tomorrow now, right?
You mean the tax?
Yes.
Is tomorrow the deadline? I think they done the tax long ago.
Tomorrow.
Okay, go ahead and submit the tax.
It's tomorrow, Tuesday. Yes, but before I submit all the errors, let me still ask you a question.
Okay, sir.
First thing, I will set up my project file.
Okay, sir.
The next, I'll set up an app.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
File.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm supposed to start setting up the views and the URL of the app file.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll connect it to the view of the project file.
Yes. No, and then you now connect the URL of the app file to the project file.
So I'll connect the two.
Yes, and what you do is that after creating your app file, you now do the URL and the views for that app, okay? and then link just the URL of that app, and then link the URL to the views of that app, okay? So that when someone goes to that URL, it shows a particular view in that app, okay? Then after that,
so the URL of the app, I will also link it to the URL of the project.
Yes, exactly. That's what you do. Using that
so
keyword.
Link both the URL and the view.
No, just link just the URL of the app to the URL of the project folder. That's the only thing you're linking there.
So where
the
does
views,
template come in?
Template comes in the app folder. Template comes in the app folder. Don't worry, go ahead.
Template is not part of the.
No. The template is on its own. Okay, template is on its own. Just go ahead, message me on Slack, okay? And then we'll discuss that. Just message me on Slack, please. Okay.
Yes, I know, Wahala. Thank you.
All right, sir. I'm waiting for your message, and then we'll see how we help each other out.